2025-0201, approval to use the remainder of the original $430,000 of American Relief Plan Act funds for additional new water line in the Pink Hill area of Hawkins County. Need a motion to put that on the floor.
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Alice. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Gillum. So the floor is open for discussion now, and would you like to recognize your person that's going to?
Mike, come on up. Okay. He's here mainly to answer questions, but the gist of it is that we voted as a commission to expend $430,000 of ARPA funds to contract with Scott County Public Service to install water line in the Pink Hill area of Hawkins County. Now, I'm telling you, they did a bang-up job. They did it quick, they did it efficiently and neatly, and they had money left over. So they have $62,000 left over, and per Charlie and Mike and Mr. Dishman, how many houses can we get, Mike?
On this?
Yeah, on that extension.
Okay. Handout is sometimes nice, so I try to put the relevant information on there. So we think we can serve 7 homes. That's what we propose. What I've given you as a map on the back, and so with 61,900 left over, we would start at the end of the existing Scott County Public Service Authority water main that's on Plum Grove Road, already in Hawkins County. So our water lines, or the blue lines up at the top, there's a line comes down Fields Gap. The one in the middle, top of your page, and then the blue line over on the right is where we are going to be picking up from, extending our main down Plum Grove Road to as far as 608 Caney Loop. We think that's where the money will run out. But that is with us contributing about $25,000 in labor and equipment, and then the 61.9 would be paying for materials and engineering, and there's a small amount of permits we have to get from TDEC. So about 5,000 feet of water line and 7 homes. But depending on construction conditions, we could possibly have some funds left over and be able to go on and serve those other 3 houses that signed up, and maybe hopefully go on down to 662. But we're comfortable that we could get to 608 to serve those 7 homes. That is what we consider a fantastic price of $8,800 per house. That's around what it cost at Pink Hill in phase 1. Maybe it was maybe a little under 8,000, but we've got projects. One is trying to get funding in Scott County right now, and they got some funding from the state, but it's $67,500 a house to extend water. I think that's a lot. So we're tickled to death when we find one that is this economically feasible and reasonable. So we think we could start, if you approve, we would expect we could start construction this spring and wrap it up in about 60 to 90 days.
As you recall, Pink Hill had the water that had a high iron content in it. It looked gold when you poured it out of the tap. And the customers that they're serving now are just tickled to death with what they've got. And this money was designated toward Pink Hill. So my recommendation would be go ahead and spend the rest of it on getting the rest of those houses.
The Pink Hill's on Caney Loop.
It's all on County Battle Loop. It's not leaving county. It's still on County Battle Loop. It's just coming from a different direction. There'll be about, maybe a mile and a half. or so.
About a mile.
Connect these two together.
About 5. Oh, when we're done, if we do this, there's be a gap of.
Yeah, but there's
You
no
know
big
better than
houses through there right now.
Right, right,
But this way you pick up a lot more houses
right.
because they're closer
And
together.
it wasn't economical to continue the first phase on further south and east.
Yeah.
Okay, does anybody have any other questions?
Eric, how much, so if we, this 62,000 right now went back into the ARPA fund remaining, correct?
What would in theory, yes.
What is remaining in ARPA funds now that we could use towards radios for fire departments?
$345,832.
That's without the 62,000 added.
Without the 62.
What was that number again, I'm sorry?
$345,832.
Are there any other water projects that, first of all, this sounds like a great project, and appreciate you coming down here. My question, I guess, Mayor, is there any other water projects that we might need to do that we could use this money for rather than extending this one that we were going to do or anything like that?
We still have, one hanging out there, New Salem Road. But I'm looking for funding for it from a different source. So,
Yeah, that's one I was, so that one is, it's not my district, but it's on my road,
Yeah.
coincidentally, because I'm right there at my district. And, I know theirs was pretty detrimental, I don't want us to skip over them, but you're saying that we can get funded for that, you
we'll
feel
get
like?
there. We'll get there.
When are we gonna get that money?
Uh,
We've been telling them for 4.5 years.
I have to go back and review the grant that I was looking at.
The grant that you were looking for had a seminar on February 25th at 1 o'clock.
Okay.
That was the information on it.
Okay.
And I mean, these people, when they turn on their water, it's ignited. And there's nobody over there that has any kind of water that's usable.
That project wasn't part of the PDEC stuff that we passed a couple of years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, the new Salem project, I could have sworn it was in something that we
It was
passed.
supposed to be included, but then, they didn't have enough money, it was $890,000. So we didn't have the money in the, utility district, didn't have the money to proceed on their own. We actually looked at ARPA money also for this project. And that's 15 houses that they would affect, plus the potential for additional development over there if they had involved in that area.
Do you know what the possible grant funding that you can get from this meeting we got in February?
It's not grant funding, it's a loan, and I don't know whether the utility district will accept a loan.
So since we're about the water project, and the reason I asked how much was left for fire department radio, and this all ties in, because we are using the ARPA money. We do have the radios project ongoing, we've been discussing for many months, if not almost a year. So, we're looking at more than $400,000 for radios. So if we add 62,000 back to what's already left, that brings it to 407. And that doesn't cover what each department has requested, take a group. So, just running some quick numbers, we do 6 mobiles and 15 portables, that comes out to $420,000. Take that 27,000 we've already out that we voted on a few minutes ago. That comes out to 407, I'm sorry, it comes out to the 372,930. So, just keep that in mind, if we're looking to move $62,000 back into the ARPA pot. Some of that money can be used for radios, some of it can be used for new cyber, or all of it can be used for big kill.
the water.
Yeah.
Well, it was originally designated for the Pink Hill project, Commissioner Plum.
That's right, I voted for it, so you became another vote,
Which normally if you come in under budget, that money goes back into the pot that you come out of, into the general fund or ARPA.
And it's a blessing that you guys are doing it in-house. That's why it came in under budget. And that's probably why you can maybe go a little bit farther than what you got estimated here when you're gonna do it in-house versus bidding it out.
Yeah, if you bid it out, the price would probably double,
Yeah.
or at least. We're optimistic that, well, we're hopeful that we have some left over to go on and serve those last 300. But 88, listen, anytime you're under $10,000 a house for a water project, it's incredible. I mean, it's an amazing opportunity. You just don't have projects like that anymore much.
But would this have to be bid back out? I mean, it's money that's coming back in, would have to be, it's over $10,000, would not have to be bid back out.
If you're outsourcing it to another entity, no. If you're gonna buy radios with it, yes, with intentions to do the radios on anyway, so it doesn't change the radio aspect of it. But if we give it as a contribution to another entity, they're subject to their purchasing policies.
We are, like I said, we are, to make it work, we're donating the labor and equipment on this. We did not do that on the first phase, but we're, to make it work, we're gonna donate that labor and equipment.
I appreciate that very much, and don't take my comments as against the project or not appreciate
No,
what
it's
you're doing.
okay.
We're just, as you can imagine, as with all local governments, there's a million priorities.
Oh, yeah.
And, trying to figure out where to spend money is quite a task.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're
I
deliberating.
understand. I'm just here to answer questions.
Just FYI, the program we're looking at for New Salem is the state revolving fund loan program, but it does say, loan forgiveness for smaller disadvantaged communities, the population of 20,000 or less, or financially disadvantaged economic status based on the SRF, which is 4,000 or less.
Yes.
What'd you say that program is?
It's called the State Revolving Fund Loan Program. Drinking water and clean water solicitation. Runs through March the 10th. I had forwarded it to Nancy and asked us to do that question mark, but that's kind of where it went. But I think we can apply for that without problem.
Okay, any other questions on the Pink Hill project?
Make sure I'm clear on the radio situation. So we have $345,000 on use of radios today. We're gonna need 450-ish, is that right?
345 left out of our.
Yes, yeah, I can confirm that number. I don't know about the radio total number, but the ARPA available is 345,832.
I know there's a lot of ifs, ands, or buts as to what we give, how many we give, and that affects the cost. But, and I'm looking at you, Robbie, I'm not really sure, I guess, because you brought it up, not you.
Well,
Have the answer.
the 340, so I've been talking to Jamie. If we decide on a set number of radios, the portables and the mobiles, if you do 6 portables and 15, or 6 mobiles and 15 portables, that's 6 truck units and 15 handheld, correct, Jamie?
Correct.
So that comes out to be roughly $420,000. So minus the $47,000 that we approved for out of opioid fund to purchase the first response radios, that brings us down to $372,930. That's what we would need for radio to do 6 mobiles and 15 portables. So the difference between the 372 and the 345 is $27,098.04. So you're looking at $28,000.
We'll be short.
We'd be short $28,000.
Even if we didn't do this project, or is that if we did this?
That is, if the 62,000, we'd be short, if we did $62,000 from Hanfield, we'd be short 27,000. And then, you know, I guess for the new Salem, is it gonna be a match, or is that just gonna be
It's a loan program that can be forgiven in disadvantaged communities.
Those are all variables that we don't know about.
If I may I say something? I just, for your consideration. And, the water mains will be, it probably have at least a 50-year life, probably more, based on historical, ages of our water system. So that's for your consideration. Life would be at least 50 years. I'm not a tax revenue specialist, but I was in Scott County. If you run a water or sewer project, it does increase the property values, which increases potentially the revenue also. So at least that's a consideration where I'm from. So I don't know if y'all take that into account or not.
Well, since we got uncertainty on the loan, correct, we don't know anything relative to the seminar,
Right.
February the 25th. I don't
Right.
know exactly what, we're not sure about what's going on with the radios. So can we put this, is it gonna hurt anything to put this on hold, or you have to have an answer today?
That's up to Mr. Dishman.
That's what I'm asking.
I don't have to have an answer today. If you approved it today, we'd put it on our schedule and be planning and be ordering materials. But, hopefully materials price doesn't go up. They tend to go up rather than down, but you never know. But no, I don't have to have an answer today.
So I'll make a motion that we put this on hold until we get some additional information on the other two projects.
All right, so there's been a motion to postpone this resolution until the next scheduled budget committee meeting. So motion to postpone until the next scheduled budget committee meeting. Is there a second?
I'll second. I've got a question.
Okay.
ARPA money, when do we need to allocate the ARPA money by again?
Come up with December.
Those stipulations are off the table right now.
So we have till now.
We've already taken our full amount as loss of revenue.
That's all I got.
All right, any other questions? We're voting on the motion to postpone this until the next scheduled meeting, next scheduled budget meeting. Miss Sarah, will you call the roll, please?
Joshua Gillum,
Yes.
Jason Roach,
Yes.
Robbie Palmer,
Yes.
Tom Kern,
Yes.
Nancy Barker,
Yes.
and Danny Ellis.
No.
5 yes, 1 no, motion carries.
All right, that should conclude all the rest. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thanks. Sorry I was late on stuff.
On your time.